In this video, we will illustrate and solve quadratic equation by factoring. Quadratic equation in terms of x is a second degree polynomial written in the standard form. And as we can see here, we have the parts. A, B, and C are the real numbers where A is not equal to 0. Another part is the terms. The first term is the ax squared. Okay? The second term is the bx. And the third term is the c, or yung constant term na tinatawag. And as we notice in our first term, we have the squared. Okay? So we are in the second degree equation. That will be the highest degree as well. Okay. Kapag ganyan, no, ang tawag dito sa equation na to ay quadratic equation. Okay? Quadratic equation. Ang pag-aaralan natin ngayon. So, now, as we move on, in this part, let us determine whether the given equation is quadratic or not. Feel free to pause this video if you want to guess or answer this question. Yes, that is correct. Quadratic equation, which can be written in standard form as x squared minus 5x minus 24 equals 0. Another one. Try to guess. Yes, I agree. That is not a quadratic equation since the degree of the equation is 1. Okay? Yan ay linear equation, not a quadratic equation. Next one, a squared plus 8a minus 9. No, that is not a quadratic equation. Though it is a quadratic polynomial, wala naman tayong makita dyang equal sign sa expression na yan. Next, this could be the last equation. Try to determine whether the equation is quadratic or not. No, that is not a quadratic equation. Why? Maliwanag dyan, meron naka-raise sa 3. That is a cubic, not a quadratic equation. Now, since we can easily identify the difference between quadratic or not, let us proceed to our game plan to solve a quadratic equation. Step 1. Transform the quadratic equation in the standard form. Followed by step 2. Factor the polynomial side of the equation. And for our third step, use the zero product property to equate each factor to 0. Step number 4, solve the resulting equations. And for the final step, we need to check if the obtained roots are accurate by substituting them to the original equation. And yes, we will try to apply these steps in solving the examples in the screen. First given, solve x squared equals 6x plus 27. First step, transform the quadratic equation in the standard form. Okay, we have x squared minus 6x minus 27 equals 0. Second step, we need to factor the polynomial side of the equation. So factor lang natin ito. So we have x minus 9 times x plus 3 equals 0. So paano nangyari yan, no? So ganito lang yung technique, no? Negative 9 times 3, that is equal to negative 27, right? So the product of negative 9 and 3, that will result to the third term of our standard form equation. And for the middle term, we need to get the sum only. No, negative 9 plus positive 3, that is negative 6. Okay? So yun lang yun. Third step, we need to apply the zero product property to equate each factor to 0. So we have x minus 9 equals 0, or yung isa naman, x plus 3 equals 0. And we need to solve the resulting equation. So mag-add lang ako dyan ng 9 And then, mag-subtract ako ng 3, add 9 both sides, subtract 3 both sides. So, we can cancel. Negative 9, ang may iwan, x equals 9. And then, ganun naman sa kabila, x equals negative 3. Okay, so, we are down in our final step. So, for the final step, we need to check if kung tama ba yung roots na nakuha natin. I will be using the original equation. If x is equal to 9, our first root, no? We have x squared, magiging 9 squared yan, equals 6x, so magiging 6 times 9 plus 27. Substitute lang. Okay, 9 squared is 81. 6 times 9 plus 27 is also 81 as well. Tama, no? The next root, if x is equal to negative 3, we have negative 3 squared equals 6 times 3 or negative 3 plus 27, no? Negative 3 squared, that is positive 9. 6 times negative 3 plus 27, that is 9. So, therefore, our roots are x equals 9 and x equals. What about this equation? I want to give you a try to find the roots of this equation. Feel free to pause this video if you want to. Now, for our solution, first of all, we will use the properties of equality to simplify the equation. So, to apply that, 5 times y squared, simplify muna natin, 5y squared, 5 times 7, that is 35, positive 35. On the other side, negative 3 times 5y, what is that equal to? Yes, negative 15. Y, negative 3 times negative 8, positive 24. And we will just copy 2y plus 17. Okay, so I think na-simplify naman natin siya. Ngayon, combine like terms, yes. So 5y squared plus 35 equals, I think we can combine negative 15 and then positive 2y, right? So, if we combine them, negative 15 plus 2y, what is that equal to? Yes, that is negative 13y. And then we have 24, 17. So, add them. Yan ay 41. Malinis na malinis. Okay, so proceed na tayo sa step number 1 natin. So, step number 1, we will transform the equation. So, papalitan natin yan, gagawin lang natin yung standard form. Okay, basically, itatransfer lang natin yung negative 13y plus 41 sa kabilang side, sa left side. So, cancel yan. Magiging, ito na yung standard form yan. We can write 5y squared plus 13y. So, simplify na natin ng 35 and 41. Si 41 mo, lilipat sa kabila, that will result to negative 6 only. So, yes, we have the step 1. We already transformed the equation into standard form. Okay, let us factor that equation. So, I want you to check these two factors, y plus 3 times 5y minus 2 equals 0. If that is correct, we can equate these two factors. So, equate natin sa 0 si y plus 3. And then later on, si 5y minus 2. Y plus 3 equals 0. Or, we have 5y minus 2 equals 5y minus 2 equals 0. And then we solve. We solve the resulting equation. So, we subtract negative 3 both sides. Then, ang may iwan dyan ay y equals negative 3. On the other hand, we add positive 2 both sides. So, 5y. So, we have 5y equals positive 2. Divide both sides by 5. Ang may iwan dyan is y equals 2 over 5. These are our two roots. And now, we will be checking the roots using the standard form of the equation. So, pwede yun, no? Yan. So, checking tayo. Now, if y is equal to negative 3, Yung standard form dyan, ito yun. Ayan, yung 5y squared plus 13y minus 6 equals 0. So 5 times negative 3 squared plus 13y minus 6 equals 0. 5 times 9 plus minus 39 minus 6 equals 0. What is that equal to? 5 times 9 minus 39 minus 6. That is 0. Okay? Next, on the other hand, we have y equals 2/5. If y is equal to 2/5, 5 times 2 over 5 raised to 2 plus 13 times 2 over 5 minus 6 equals 0. Let us check. Okay? I want you to verify. Is that equal to 0? Yes, that is equal to 0. Therefore, the two roots are negative 3 and 2/5. And for the last and final example, so we need to solve the quadratic equation of 1 over 10 a squared minus 7 over 10a minus 12 equals 0. Paano natin gagawin yan? May fraction. So una, we will transform the numerical coefficients to integral coefficients. So we will basically remove the fraction sides. So paano natin i-remove yan? No? Ang gagawin lang natin dyan, i-multiply lang natin yung equation na yan sa left and right side sa 10 para ma-remove natin yung denominator na 10. So, ayan, mag-multiply na ako sa right side. Equal pa rin naman sa 0 yan. Then sa left side, 10 din. Then, we simplify. 10 times 1 over 10. Basically, mamumultiply lang natin, makakancel lang natin itong denominator. Right? So, cancel lang yan. Ang matitira ay a squared. The next one is 10. Makakancel din ng 10 dyan sa denominator. Ang matitira ay 7a. At yung 10, at saka yung negative 12 dyan, we will just get the product. So 10 times negative 12 is negative 120. Ayan. And then equals 0. 10 times 0 is 0. Okay. So, a squared minus 7a minus 120, we will get the factor. Mabilis na lang yan, no? So, what is the factor of that equation? So, we have negative 15 plus 8. I want you to check and verify if that is correct. Negative 15 times 8 is that negative 120? At kapag kinuha yung sum, negative 7 ba? Okay, if that is correct, we can equate the equation a minus 15 equals 0 or a plus 8 equals 0. Then we can get the a value. We have a equals 15 and a equals negative 8. These are the two roots na kukunin natin or nakuha natin. To check if the two roots are accurate or correct, so we will be using the standard form of the equation. If a is equal to 15, okay, kunin natin yung standard form dyan. Ito yung standard form. Itong a squared minus 7a minus 120. So 15 squared minus 7 times 15 minus 120 equals 0. I want you to check if that is equal to 0. Okay? So next, if a is equal to negative 8, so we have negative 8 squared minus 7a or 7 times negative 8 minus 120 equals 0. So if that is equal to 0, then we conclude that these two roots, 15 and negative 8, are the final answer of this given equation. And that concludes our lesson. See you in the next puzzle video.